Welcome to Astro Reiki, you guys. This is Sagittarius season. Okay, it started yesterday. I believe the sun entered Sag late last night. So we're in the flow right now with the 22nd of November. And it will take us into right before Christmas, before we cross over to Capricorn season. So we're in this fun, fiery energy of Sagittarius, fire sign. It has the glyph of like, it looks like an arrow because it is an arrow. It's like one of the most like literal glyphs I feel like that we have when it comes to the signs. That arrow is, Keisha will speak more about that, but it's about this idea of like, and the sign is like a centaur. So half man, half horse. And when I was writing that down, I was like, the sage. Now, I don't know if you guys are like Harry Potter fans or potheads like myself, but double entendre. But
I like that.
but the centaur in Harry Potter, in like, I think it's like the first or second movie, he comes in with the information, right? He comes in, he tells Harry about the forbidden forest, and he's like, this is what goes down here, this is what's been going on. So you can kind of see that same archetype like literally mirrored in like a movie like Harry Potter. Sagittarius energy is about being the teacher, the the um the sage. Like I said, they have the wisdom. Here's the information, you follow us this way, we give you the information that you need so you can grow and be safe and learn. So they're like the teachers, which is interesting. We have a couple teachers in the zodiac, but Sag, I feel, is more of a wise teacher. Keisha mentioned earlier, we have the moon cycle. So you have like maiden, mother, crone. And crone is like that Sagittarius energy. They're older, they're wiser, they know. Um, it's a mutable sign. So we have fixed signs, cardinal signs, and mutable sign. And this is immutable. So it's akin to like Virgo energy is mutable energy. Each element has one mutable, one fixed, one cardinal. And so with this mutable energy, Sagittarius have the, if you have, like, I know Yami's a Sag. If you are around Sagittarius energy, Keisha has a Sag moon, they have the ability to connect with a lot of different people. They have the ability to understand a lot of different people, a lot of different viewpoints, belief systems. They're very open, they're very welcoming, they're very much so like, I want to learn. And in that learning from others, they're also teaching others. So that mutable energy is very both ways. They're ruled by Jupiter. So I love Jupiter. Jupiter is like one of my favorite planets. And it's because it's about optimism. It's about good luck. So this season is truly a season of fortune, good luck, things just making sense, things just happening, which I think it's cool that it correlates with our holiday season, because we're all kind of in that energy of wanting things to be fun and work out and all that. So collectively, we already are like in that vibe. And so Sag energy just supports that idea of like luck and things working out, fellowship and all that as well. It's a very optimistic sign. So if you know a Sag or have Sag in your chart, in that space, you probably are like, things are going to be fine. It's going to work out just fine. Like, I'm looking at the glass is half full. It's interesting because probably, I'm not sure everybody's age, but I was born in 88. And so my Sagittarius placement is in Saturn. So Saturn has a 29-year transit. And so with that, a lot of us have a similar placement, right? It's a generational type of planet. It's an outer planet. And ours is in Sagittarius. And so if you think about that, Saturn's about rules and regulations and systems. And then you have Sag in there, which is about growth, and expansion and learning and belief systems and thinking outside and trying to see the bigger picture. Why is this all happening? And a lot of us in this generation are in of that mindset. That's not an accident. That is as above, so below. That's why we called it the Astro tier of that. What happens in the cosmos affects us down here. So that's a cool way to see Sag in your placement, in your charts, because I know a lot of us are like in that same space. What else is going on? Expansion is another word. So this is a time to like grow into other parts of yourself, grow into more of yourself, emphasize who you are, what you're wanting to share, what you're wanting to learn. This would be a great time to like take a course, and like Keisha has her Growing with Gratitude challenge. It's a great time to do things like that because we're wanting to expand our consciousness during Sagittarius season. We want to know more. The philosopher is also a thing attributed to Sag energy, and also like being happy. So like it's like this reminds me of another holiday movie, The Cheermeister in The Grinch. You know, The Grinch, he goes, yeah, The Grinch with Jim Carrey, one of my favorites. He in Whoville, they give somebody like the Cheermeister award, and that means they're the person that has the most cheer. And that's so Sag energy. You want like people to be happy and have a good time and bring joy to people. And it's kind of like that flame. You know, if you light a candle, it's like, ooh, warmth. It's a light, and people gravitate towards it. So Sagittarius has that energy where you like want to be around it, and they have the good vibes. Adventure seeking. They want to have fun. They want to break out of the box. They want to try different things. And the last thing I had before my little thing that came through was freedom seeking. So along with them wanting to go out and about, they do not want to feel confined. They don't want to feel stuck. They don't want to feel like there's not another level to achieve. They're always growing, always glowing. And then I said, what came to me, I was walking the dog and it came up a couple times, but my mantra that I'm sharing with y'all for this season is no risk, no reward. So that's what I'm feeling for this. When you're in that Sag energy, you're willing to kind of go out of the box, do something weird, but with that good luck that this has, it'll probably work out in your favor. So I'm going to kick it over to Keisha so she can talk about the energy as well, and the concept of the fact that, like, you know, we just left Scorpio season and we go through these seasonal changes collectively for a reason. So we went from a fixed Scorpio energy to a mutable Sagittarius energy, because it's saying, how can we use those fixed lessons we learned? We're not forgetting them. They're fixed. We learned them. They've changed us. I was very changed during Scorpio season. How can we now use that and mutate it into our current reality so that we are now that person, that growth has occurred? So, Keisha.
I like that. Yeah, it's interesting because so when it comes down to Sagittarius, I love this energy because I'm a little biased as well. I have stelliums, which means 3 or more placements, but I have stelliums in Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Sag. So I'm like, I just have all the elements harnessed within me, which makes me adaptable. I guess that's good. But
so awesome, you guys.
You say what?
So that's why you're so awesome.
Oh, thank you. But it's one of those things where you're biased because it's Virgo in there too. I get what you're doing. But yeah, it's interesting because with me getting deeper into astrology, right, it started to make things make sense. And it kind of gave like a cosmic blueprint of things, not only of what's going on collectively or there in the astros, but also what's going on within. That's why, to me, when they say, we are the micro of the macro, we are the stars and dust and whatever. I think that saying is we're all made of stardust. Yeah. So that above, so below, like we are the embodiment of that energy, and it really is true because I mean, on a molecular structure, the stuff that makes us who we are is that stars are actually made of that same thing. But it's interesting, this Sagittarius energy. When I got into astrology, I started to understand more about it as like a guide. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're going to be here on Earth. Here's how this huge energy, this source, this universal life force energy, here's how we can communicate with you. Okay, here's a blueprint in a way of kind of like how to be human, but how to adapt and understand that cosmic language, right? So that you can move through this human experience, evolve through this human experience with more ease and grace. So as you learn to embrace astrological aspects within and out, it allows you to be in this harmonious sort of flow. Okay. And at least it gives you a little bit of grounding, it gives you a little bit of understanding, and it can soften certain things in your life when you understand that the overall scheme is what's supposed to be happening anyways. It's just everyone individually might be experiencing that expression through them differently or in a more unique way, but still like this umbrella, right? And so with a Sagittarius, it's a little further down, right, in the zodiac. I think it's the ninth planet because it ruled the ninth house. And so with that being, that's how I remember it. But with that being said, Aries is the baby, right? The spring, they initiate the new kickoff. And so as you evolve, if you put the planets into more like human years, Aries would be the baby, Taurus would be toddlers. They kind of act like that too, right? Stubborn, no, whatever. Cancer, they'd be more like the teenagers, so they can be a little moody, sweet, but then moody sometimes, and things like that. And then you would have like Libra would be more of like the mother. I know Cancer is associated with the mother, but if you're applying like human years or milestones and like decades or whatever to the cosmic blueprint, then that's kind of the way it would go. So then you have Libra, like I said, as the mother, and then Scorpio would be more of like, I would say more of like an evolved mother. Maybe you're more like me, and you breaking through your 40s now. And then Sag would be like, the woman that I would say would be more like in her 50s or something. She would be wiser. She would be, when it comes to the triple goddess, the maiden, the mother, and the crone, she would be the crone or the sage, the wise one. She knows how to apply the wisdom gained, and it helps her to adapt. That's what mutable means, is adaptable. And creates change, right? In order to adapt to something, you have to be willing and be open to change. And so I think when Sydney was talking about, mutate something, a lot of times we think mutable, we think of silent, but Sagittarius is anything but silent. If anything, they're loud, they're boisterous, they have an energy, a light about them, right? Like that flame, that fire, which represents Sagittarius energy, and they can sometimes be larger than life. So they're ruled by Jupiter, and it's the largest planet. And so it holds a lot of space, and it can, it has a presence to it, right? And then what I think also is cool about that is, since Libra is the initiator, the cardinal sign, the most recent one that we've moved through, it initiates a new phase, right? Because Libra kicks off fall, basically. And then we get fixed in that space. That's where Scorpio came in. And now it's like time for us to adapt and move, because the next sign is Capricorn, which is cardinal again. So it's like, okay, it keeps us in this flow of like, okay, we're going to kick off this new season. This is my intention for this season. That's why quarterly intention setting based on astrological times can be very beneficial. But you have that cardinal, let's kick things off, and then let me get deep into it. And now from this depth, I can now create a certain amount of change, allow myself to evolve and grow. And then you get a whole nother season. Okay. So when you apply all that stuff, it allows you to be in this like symbiotic space with nature, with spirit, with God, goddess, whatever you want to call it. But this natural rhythm and cycle is something that we experience, not just outside of ourselves, but also within. And I think it's pretty cool because with that being said, we're able to, the last mutable sign, or the last sign, sorry, was cardinal for this season was Libra. And so Libra's ruled by air. So we see things from a different perspective, but it's an intellectual, very cerebral type of energy. And then we go into Scorpio, which is deeper. It's more emotional and intuitive, right? So Sagittarius comes along, and it's like, okay, with what I've gained, the knowledge I've gained, knowing how it makes me feel, let me apply that in a way that can bring me more freedom, right? In Women's Meditation tonight, we talked about mental freedom, emotional freedom. There's spiritual freedom, and also there's physical freedom, whether that's freedom from physical pain or whatever in your body, or freedom to be able to move like what do you call digital nomads. They have freedom to move and work wherever they want to. I met a girl last night, actually. I love this about her. She was young, in her 20s, I guess, maybe, but she had like 3 passports for like 3 different countries. She was from Brazil, but then lived in Italy, so she had one for there and a U.S. passport. And she's like, if she can't get in somewhere with one of her passports, she's got 2 other ones, and she's working on a Swedish one. And I was like, oh my, you are so fucking inspiring. I love that in the whole global pandemic where there's all these restrictions in travel. And guess what? She's a Sagittarius. But anyways, she's got almost 4 passports. She can move how she wants to, regardless. And I'm like, that is just like something that I never thought of. But Sagittarius brings that higher learning. Like, I'm just so amazed at how cool that was and meeting her. But what I think also is pretty neat about that is when you think of freedom, we think of also, I was talking to Sydney earlier about like financial freedom and what does that look like? And sometimes we also have to redefine that because a lot of times we think financial freedom, we attach a dollar amount to it. A lot of people that want to hit the lottery and stuff, you're attaching a dollar amount, a numerical value, not an energetic, but a numerical value, something that's fixed to freedom. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't sound like freedom. The freedom ain't free then, right? If that's the case. You've attached that. So what most people are looking for when financial freedom, they want to be free of debt, for one. And they want to be able to afford a particular lifestyle. That's really all it is. You know what I'm saying? But you can feel financially free in a lot of different ways and receive a lot of things for free or whatever. But freedom can, the question is like, what does freedom look like to you in those different areas? How can you expand on that knowledge and grow with that wisdom to create a more fulfilling, happier, joyful, pleasurable life experience? And then from there, that freedom is what brings you that happiness. It's what makes Sagittarius unique because they are freedom seeking. And so they're going to do whatever they need to make themselves feel happy. That can go in a couple different ways. You can always have, you can always do certain things that put you in detriment to be happy, which means basically maybe you're overcompensating for something or, projecting. You can go a negative way with trying to fulfill your emotional and mental needs, or you can go a positive way that creates the happiness, the joy that you truly deserve and desire, that can really help you to flourish, okay, to grow, to expand, to express yourself in a better way. And so I think that's pretty cool, this energy here. With it being the centaur, that's all. I mean, I was talking to Cindy earlier. I was like, it's about risk taking, Sagittarius. And she's like, yeah, that was a risk. A man and a horse? Like, who came up with that one? But what stands out to me more so is obviously it's different. Okay, it's definitely different. And, but it holds its own on those 4 legs. It holds its own, and then the upper body is just there. I don't know how to explain this centaur thing, but the Harry Potter thing was cool. But anyways,
it's there.
The upper part, the human part is there. I don't know what else to say about that. I just got out of women's meditation. I'm in the female space. I'm like, it's a man, it's there.
Right.
but what I do appreciate is the bow and arrow. That was actually one of the first readings tonight in Women's Meditation with Diana. She has the bow and arrow, and her message is about focused intent. But what I like about the bow and arrow is it's symbolic, right? It's what you're holding in your hands. What are you holding on to? One can represent, well, both hands actually represent the feminine and masculine energies. One is about receiving, the other one's giving. And if you're, for instance, right-handed, then you probably give with your right hand a lot. I choose when someone's giving something to me, if I'm mindful enough, I try to receive it with my left hand. But anyways, it's interesting because when you think about the bow and arrow, for me, because I'm right-handed, I would hold it right in my left hand for the most part, stay strong in the bow part, and then as I pull and I shoot with the arrow, that is that masculine energy, the releasing, letting go. But it takes us beyond where we are, right? The arrow is like our thoughts, our intentions, and it takes us beyond where we are. And so I think that's really cool when it comes down to Sagittarius energy. The aspect of higher learning, being unique, doing something different, takes us out of our comfort zone, but with focused intent, right? And I think that is how we choose a way that we can choose to grow, to expand, to learn more about ourselves as well as others, and bring maybe some philosophical perspectives to the way we see the world. Okay. And I think it's kind of cool too, because I was telling Sydney earlier as well, how with it being the element of fire, we know that Scorpio season that we just left, Scorpio season is represented by the phoenix, right? It rises from the ashes, but there's also flames there. There's fire, and that's that transformative energy. The Scorpio energy has transformed through that fire. It illuminates its strengths and burns away any weaknesses or anything that no longer serves, creating that freedom, that ability to fly high. Okay. So, with that being said, let's get into it.
Get into it, yeah.
Yep. I got that joke. Go ahead and just allow your eyes gently fall closed. Taking a moment just to check in. Noticing where you are in your thoughts. Noticing your feelings. Noticing your body. Checking in with your intention for this season. Reflecting on all the ways that you've grown. Taking that knowledge and wisdom, allowing it to fuel your intention for your future, the days ahead of you, the season that you'll move through. Allowing yourself just to accept and receive the energetic support that is here for you. Allowing that to move through you and into any areas of life that you would like a scent, healing, transformation, life. Allow this energy to move through you and into any situation, any space or place that may have seemed stagnant recently. The light of Reiki, seen the violet color. Allow this light to flow through you, allowing the mind to be open to receive, the heart space open to receive, the entire body open to receive. And with that focus intention, allow this light to fill your entire personal space, your home, your workspace, car, relationships, friendships, space of the known and that of the unknown within your life. Breathe. Receive. Frequency of Reiki transcends all time and space. Right now, you're receiving this with the intention of it removing any past energies, karmic debts, unfinished business, so that you can move forward with more freedom, more optimism and joy, more wisdom. As old energy from your past is being undone, healed, transmuted, create space for not only a better future, but a better you, better reality, not only for yourself, but for those around you to experience. It's as if a violet flame burns away all heaviness, all worries, all concerns. You can place anything that you would like to be transmuted in this violet flame, perhaps seeing it out in front of you. And with us here as a collective in this sacred space, it's as if there's bonfire that we encircle, a violet flaming light. Together, we release all of our worries, our fears. They're replaced with courage, confidence, optimism. As we embrace this moment, the space of magic, we create the opportunity to receive the luck and fortune that the season brings. Reminds us how fortunate we truly are. And that luck is simply preparation, openness, receptivity, trust, and divine timing aligning with that is what gives us the miracles, joy, fulfillment, prosperity we are ready for. Breathe. Just relax. You may feel something, you may feel nothing, but just know the energy is working for you, through you. Change can be subtle, change can be abrupt. In this space, we are fearless, we are brave, hopeful, wise, and intuitive. We know that we create our reality. We choose to move forward. Optimism, faith, flow. Spirit of Reiki, healing of Reiki, supports mental and emotional balance, enlightenment. Allow this force of nature to move through you. To move into the days ahead and support you in this season. Release all fears, worries, or concerns. Allow mind to be at ease for just this moment. Allow your heart to soften. Just breathe. Relax. All is working in your favor. On your next breath, bring your focus, your mental awareness to that violet flame that sits out in front of you. Allow this light to flow into space between the brows. Allowing this light to touch heart space, bringing it deeper into the body with each breath. Breathing in this violet light, exhaling violet light. Allow it to soothe you, inviting every cell of your body relax and be at ease. Calmness washes over you, relaxing deep. What does being spiritually free look like to you? How can you show up in that space, being spiritually free? What would being mentally free look like to you? When you allow yourself an open mind, allowing that to support you, being mentally free. What does feeling emotionally free feel like within your body? How can you support that even more? How can you create more freedom in your physical world? What steps are needed? What action is needed for you to move forward this season? Clarity, optimism, excitement, joy, authenticity, happiness. What would it feel like to be financially free? Don't worry about how that will happen. What would that feel like to you in your body? Allow yourself to explore this space, to relish in this space, to grow and to flourish in this space. What is your intention for yourself this season? Bring that to mind. Feel it in the heart space. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. Send that intention forward like a bow and arrow into violet flame in front of you. As we do this individually, as a collective here in this space, hold this space for one another. As a collective, we are supported. For where two or more gather, spirit lies, and we are here, spiritual beings having a human experience. But we are allotted the grace, the love, the light, and all the abundance, supportive energies surround us. We are blessed. We are grateful. We receive this and better for ourselves and for one another. May this season bless you with all that you take a deep breath. As we collectively and individually seal sacred, wonderful, magical space. And so it is. slowly. Being ever so gently with yourself. Take deep breath, allowing yourself to be completely filled with the new and fully exhaling the old, bringing gentle movements to the body, starting with your fingertips and toes, hands, feet, wrists, ankles, beginning to move your neck and shoulders. Maybe taking a little stretch or giving yourself a hug for being here, showing up, allowing yourself to receive. And then taking one more deep breath. As you gracefully open your eyes, coming out of trance. It's kind of blissed out here. Take
Love
that
that. I am elated.
Okay.
I like I'm filled with joy.
Good.
Like on the highest level of joy. Like I cried joyfully. I
And
was
we
so
need to
happy.
cry.
I'm just that was amazing. I feel so happy. I feel so optimistic. I feel so excited. I feel so powerful and open and ready and connected.
Thank you. Yeah, this is I guess
My
very
face
sweet. You said what?
my face hurts from smiling.
That's a good problem to have. It's I mean you can either have frown lines or you can have smile lines, right? I prefer to have smile lines if anything. Um yeah, I love Sagittarius energy. Like I said, I never knew how special that energy was. They're all special, obviously, but for me personally, until I really started tapping into astrology a little more and recognizing that those, that blueprint that we've been given is definitely meaningful and definitely powerful. I've got my moon, my Mars, my Neptune, and then a house or two in Sagittarius. So it's like, okay, that explains why she is the way she is. What
Yeah.
I like about Sag energy too is very humorous, very playful, fun, very comedic in a way. And I think that's a cool way to integrate amusement and so forth
Yeah,
into.
because what I was getting is like, sometimes like when we talk about soul growth and evolution and integration and doing this, it does get a little bogged down and like this is work. But like with this energy, it feels so much more light and fun and exciting and cool and like, yeah, this is like magic. Like you can take this and like make awesomeness and like you can experience that yourself, you people around you can experience it. It's just such an uplifting fun energy. I really like it.
One of my good friends, she describes Sagittarians or Sagittarius energy as like a puppy. You know how it's just like playful and just everybody's like, oh, it's so cute, and it just draws so much attention. And she said it's not only is it like cute and draws all that attention, but it's just happy and just optimistic and just wants to like, what's this and what's that, and oh, okay, it's just so open to everything and excited about it, just pure joy and happiness. Like that's just its nature, right? It doesn't have anything really negative to compare itself to, right? That's how the human mind works. We kind of want to attach things to stuff, but you don't have to attach your joy, your happiness to anything. You don't have to attach it to anything. just let it be. Let it just exist. Let it flow through you. And tonight also is pretty special because I kind of switched it up a little bit. I think I was kind of guiding in a meditative state a little more. And then I thought it was cool because the violet flame was very fitting. And I was like, well, and that was just something that was just randomly channeled. And I was like, oh, okay. The violet, yeah, the violet flame, it makes sense because Reiki is associated with like a purple violet color. And a lot of times when I am initiating students and I'm activating their chakras and so forth as to become a practitioner, a lot of times I do see like violet light, which I think is really cool. But then also with Sagittarius being flame, right, a fire, I was like, oh, violet flame. But there is actually something called the violet flame invocation. So if you Google violet flame invocation, it actually comes from the Ascended Master Saint Germain. It's one of my homies. I've got his elixirs and elixir of life and golden age elixir. I've got his twin flames elixir. Quit taking that because I had some weirdos come back in my life. I was like, I don't know about that. But we gonna take the other ones. I don't know the twin flame one. But anyways, but the violet flame invocation, I think the website with the lady that I've worked with for several years and had the pleasure of actually talking to one time and disclosed some personal information to me. I'm like, she don't know me, but I thought it was cool that she shared some information with me because I've been a fan of hers for a while. But her name is Troika, Troika. Troika Saint Germain. I think the website is like ascension-saintgermain.com or something. But if you either Google her or Violet Flame Invocation, you'll see what that prayer is. And the exercise of visualizing a violet flame out in front. There's a lot of ways you can work with it. But you can envision a violet flame out in front of you and tossing in it anything that no longer serves you, like burning that away, or you can envision the violet flame in an area or space within your body and do that as a meditation. You can also allow yourself to envision like you're sitting in the violet flame to transmute any energy, to heal your aura, to balance your chakras and so forth. There's a lot of ways you can work with it, so it's pretty cool technique and source of energy and tool, exercise, meditation, whatever, to help you, transmute energy to really harness the power that is within you and that lies in your intention and your imagination. So hopefully that brings y'all some good stuff there,
Indeed. And before we get into readings, I got a random message. It wasn't long at all. I don't know if it's anyone on here or anyone that's going to watch later or where this person is. Maybe he was just flying by. His name is George. And he literally just said, hey, you. So that's all I got. So like I said, I have no idea. That happens from time to time. When I'm in meditation, I'll get little visitations, write it down, share it. It can apply, it may be not. But I'm also realizing that we're always parallel to these other realms. So if I'm in a meditative state, I'm open. And so those energies can come in and I can hear them clear. And it doesn't always have to necessarily have to do with anybody other than just that person saw that I was open and available. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Yeah. So we can go ahead and stop the recording and get to the personal readings. Thank you guys. See y'all for Capricorn season. Get that shmoney.
All right. Okay. Here we go.